Let's welcome back to the show. He's Congressman Pat Fallon from House Oversight. Congressman, a pleasure having you on tonight. Congressman, let's take this on. We broke this news last night. The White House today, it admitted it did pressure OPEC to delay cuts in oil production until its next meeting, which is after the midterms. NSC Kirby said that, the spokesman there. But all day long, they've been dodging, deflecting, and scrambling over this. If this move was okay, Congressman, to do, then why downplay, deflect, and dodge?
Well, right, Liz. You know what Joe Biden is doing and his administration has proven is that they're just focused and completely obsessed with the political and not real solutions. You know, the real solutions for the American people aren't tapping into our strategic petroleum reserve and begging petty dictators like Venezuela and Saudi Arabia to increase production, or certainly not decrease it. What we should be doing is unleashing the American energy sector, but that's the last thing Joe Biden wants to do.
Yeah, they're not asking Texas and Alaska to pump more. They're asking Venezuela or Russia or OPEC. Let's watch NSC spokesman John Kirby and Biden economic official Brian Deese on this today. Watch this.
The Saudi government is accusing the Biden administration of asking them to not cut back on oil production until after the midterm elections. Why did the White House do that?
It's not true. We did not ask them to cut back until after the elections.
Brian, again, it's a really straight question. Did you ask the Saudis to delay that decision for a month? Are they telling the truth or not?
Look, I'm not going to get on air and disclose private conversations that members of our administration
the Saudis have shared it with us. You've got the opportunity to say it's true or not. Is it true or not?
What I will say clearly is that the communications that we've had with OPEC members and continuing have been based on our assessment of the economic circumstances of supply and demand in global oil markets.
Do you see the nonsense? Do you see the political flannel, the political rhetoric? You know what I mean with what Brian Deese just said? If it was above board, then why didn't Brian Deese just answer the question? And why did John Kirby flat out mislead?
You know what? That was like gobbledygook from Billy Madison. It made no sense. It was word vomit. The fact of the matter is, when Joe Biden took office, Liz, price of gasoline was $2.38 a barrel. Now it's $3.91 national average. That's 64% increase. And that's going to happen when the first day in office you do things like canceling the Keystone XL pipeline, and in the first week saying we're not going to issue any more leases for drilling and exploration on federal lands and in federal waters. That's why we're in the situation we're in.
You know, the White House slams OPEC's cut as a, quote, short-sighted decision, but refused to agree that Biden draining the strategic reserves is also a short-sighted decision. It hurts U.S. national security. It leaves this nation even more exposed to the whims of OPEC and Russia. You know, working and middle-class Americans, they face higher winter energy costs this coming winter, 60% in some sections of the country. But they're downplaying it. It's just like a quote to green energy. Natural gas is clean, more efficient. It helps lower America's emissions over the last generation. Households with natural gas, you know, Congressman, we've talked about this. They produce lower greenhouse gas emissions than even electricity. But you got environmentalists, you know, not talking about that while talking about mining minerals for electric car batteries that destroy the environment.
Well, Liz, two things real quick. We have reduced our emissions in the United States over the last 20 years by 20%, more than any other nation has done in history. So we reduced, just from 2005 to 2017, we reduced emissions by 758 million metric tons. The EU did about 770 million, and they have a lot bigger population. But in the same time, China increased their emissions by 3 billion metric tons, and India by 1 billion metric tons. So point is, the environment's not getting cleaner because we're all on the same planet. And
the way we lowered our emissions was from natural gas. That's what we did.
Absolutely. You know what? And then to your point about the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, under President Trump, it was 695 million barrels at its height. It's now at 416 million barrels, 40% reduction. Unreal.
It's really striking. We'll stay on the story with you, Congressman Fallon. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to see you.